We got ourselves Arash as a unholy DK. Wait, is this A-bomb? Is this A-bomb? Because I think I've seen that mog and I've seen that haircut together, and that's an unholy DK. Makes you think of A-bomb immediately. Danny gonna be first up as a BM Hunter. Gonna be pet class versus pet class of the bat. As Arash actually getting quite a bit of damage. Oh, what? I'm not sure what killed him. I'm actually not sure what killed him. But look at that slime, dude. He's got like a helm. He's got the, look at that helmet he's got going on. That's a lot of pets, by the way. He's got slimes. He's got undead. A-boss. Look at that. He's got a bone for a weapon. He's got a bone to pick with you. Gonna be Subways. Open it up as an Assassination Rogue with a Garrote versus Arash. No trinket available for the death there right now. Flagellation rolling on the DK. He's gonna go for AMS to deal with some of that shadow damage. Does still have a lot of defenses and actually turn damage around onto Subways. What did he do to the guy? Gonna be disarmed by a sub-rogue. Arash actually losing a lot of health. I guess he had a lot of health to work with when maybe a Battle Master trinket. But as soon as that thing fell off, all that borrowed health just disappeared. Even through AMS and everything. That's actually kind of unfortunate. Subways did disarm him for a last second. But the DK did do quite a lot of damage to the rogue. I do wonder what he did to him. Subway's trying to see if he can get maybe a bit of an auto duel versus Tasty. You're just waving like, hey, hi, auto duel, but you stay over there. You're probably gonna think, you know, if the rogue way walks any closer, I'm gonna hit him with a lasso, dude. Subway's though playing with this arm, not gonna help him out too much versus Tasty, but against the team of melee, which is Christ God M6 as well as the DK, that is not a bad choice and does give the rogue a little bit extra CC opportunity. Subway's though kind of waiting it out. Also, did I see a Tricks of Trade on top of you? Is DV giving you a Tricks of Trade or something? Is that what's going on? Or is he giving Tricks of Trade to somebody else? I thought I saw a Tricks of Trade for a second. The thing is, Tricks of Trade, I don't think Thick as Thieves works unless, like, whoever, like, let's say DV give him the buff with Tricks. It won't actually give him the buff unless DV gets in combat. And, like, the threat starts getting redirected to Subways, and then the damage starts getting redirected. Subways, though, got pretty high MS. Uh-oh. And you guys actually can see this, even though we are getting a bit of a lag issues. Subways in the shield that he's getting every time he restelts, it does not last long at all. It's only like 4 seconds while in stealth, so rogues are not going to have that reset capability nearly as much as they would want to. Gonna be a Subways open up with a Garrote, Tasty with Light Lasso. I don't know if Subways even has the health to survive this. And I think even Froststroke almost took him out. Vanish comes out. I think he does have a Flame Shock. The Flame Shock gets him out, or at least something gets him out. Actually, I think he just pressed evasion. I don't think he meant to press evasion. I think that's what got him out of stealth. I don't think Tasty even had a Flame Shock on him. Chicago is going to be up next. Enhanced with Shaman. Are we still trying that Ascendance playstyle? Chicago, are we still trying Ascendance? Because I don't think you need to have Ascendance as a talent in order to be able to use Ascendance Legendary. But that should be interesting versus Tasty. Especially if he is still rolling that interrupt on a talent for enhanced Ellie as well as Resto. When you interrupt a cast, let's say a fire spell, then for 20 seconds you take 20% less damage from fire spells, which is a very, very interesting on a talent, which could be pretty good since Shaman interrupts, at least the silence effect, the kick itself, blocks out enemies for only 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds, it could go back and blast you with fire spells, frost spells, whatever you interrupted, and you'll actually have a DR from it, which is not terrible on paper. It doesn't seem bad. There was a bit of an argument like, well, you gotta lock him out. Wait, trade transfusion? Oh, interesting. Trying to wombo combo Tasty. I was just thinking he would just go for a bit of a setup. I didn't realize he was just gonna go try big fetch transfusion. Tasty was quick on a draw though, knocked him out of it immediately. Chicago was maybe a little bit too close for the knockback. If only he wasn't, it would have been a good spot. There's gonna be an extra slime available for Tasty from his Primordial. He's gonna trap Chicago around the corner. Actually can't leave behind the pillar. Has to fight Tasty or try to see if he can just somehow hug around like a pixel or something. Big damage on Chicago. Having to use wall here is gonna have to use all that maelstrom in order to start heal themselves up ASAP. Will not be able to have that full fate transfusion yet. Did go for a feral charge, missing the Sunder by a hair. Does interrupt Tasty on nature cast with that hex. So if Tasty does go with any lightning bolts, he will deny the damage from that. But that means he actually will get a free hexes. That's actually really unfortunate. For Chicago, I think it's better actually to interrupt him on fire, so the majority of the Tasty's damage just doesn't follow through. And that kind of comes in the holes with the legendary a bit. Tasty setting up for a primordial. Maybe Chicago can interrupt. It does get the interrupt. That's going to be a lasso. Going to take the full damage of the lasso. But the lava burst afterwards shouldn't do as much damage as long as he's running down a talent. Unless the thing isn't working. Which could be a possibility. Tasty going for a knockback. Trying to see if he can bait an interrupt. Is going to try to see if he can bait a hex out. Try to go for lava burst after. Chicago does catch up some line of sight. I guess it is possible that maybe the honor challenge just doesn't work because those lava bursts look like they hurt. It didn't look like you had a 20% DR from fire damage. It looked like those lava bursts are just punishing you either way. Did he disappear for a second? What did that happen? What was that just now? What was that for a second? What was that? That was interesting. Also, I wonder if anybody got like an honor talent on a PvP trinket for maybe their weekly box. Because if you have a weekly box waiting for you for PvP stuff. Oh, look at Tasty dropping down the totem and keeping Chicago at bay. But I was just wondering if anybody got from the weekly box, if they copied the character with weekly rewards, the new PvP trinket, the stun. It's like a 3-second stun while you channel it, kind of like a lasso minus the damage that it does. I was gonna wonder like if anybody wants to try that trinket, if anybody has one. Chicago by now should probably have full Phage Transfusion. That's gonna be a lasso as well as a knockback that Chicago does not have to deal with. If they can somehow get a stun onto Tasty, they'll be in a good spot. Tasty trying to deny any kind of potential Phage Transfusion onto Chicago, going for stuns as Tasty finds himself kind of low on health. Trying to go for a hex out of Tasty. If Chicago can only go for a stun on Tasty or go for a transfusion, they'll be in a great spot. Trying to go for a stun. Tasty is going to have a wall. Phage Transfusion comes out, is going to be able to drain him. Trying to see if he can drain him as much as possible. And I think technically Tasty should have been drained. But maybe the wall reduced the majority of that damage. It looked like your health just wasn't going anywhere. Maybe the circle that leaves you, like a death and decay circle, maybe it's smaller than you think. Somebody dropping down Counter-Strike Totem. Looks like it was Chicago dropping it down. Tasty keeping Chicago out the open. No way from Pillar. Gonna be lighting lasso, dropping down meteors on him. Whoa. Yo, that totem is actually quite huge. Divapox actually opened it up very out of position. Normally we want you guys starting in the room, but I guess I decided, you know what? Breaking the rules, breaking the law as an outlaw rogue. I'm an outlaw. I don't follow your rules. So a bit unfortunate. But it doesn't look like Tasty is really too bothered by it. Big zabs by Tasty. Divapox has to go for Cloak of Shadows. Blind on Tasty. Does not have a trinket for it. Maybe he could send the pet in. Looks like the pet dissipated. So Divapox should be able to get himself a first aid. Even though technically Divapox did get himself a really early opener, Tasty does not come out of stealth with that Earthquake though. Gonna be a trinket for DV with a Vanish. This is looking for a bit of a reset. Flame Shocks are gonna keep him out of stealth. No longer do rogues have their full dominance of just staying in stealth the whole time. And if DV, if you haven't channeled Flesh Scout, might be a good idea. Phage Transfusion feels like it got nerfed compared to live. Yeah, it either feels like it didn't do as much damage as it should, or maybe the hitbox for it on the ground is actually smaller than the visual. It looks like DV actually just walked out of that totem. What is going on? He literally just walked out of it. The static charge totem, or whatever it's called. Gouge onto Tasty. Does he have maybe a kidney shot to follow up? Does have a kidney shot with a mark for death ready. Looks like he's slowed down though. Looks like the puddle on the ground slowed him quite a bit. That's a little unfortunate. Tasty does have a new Soulbind passive, where he does have a slow that can drop sap onto Tasty. It is the yard, but does allow Divapox to at least get a reset out of it. And it does make me wonder what on talents is DV playing, because there are some that are all about staying in combat. There's one for evasion, which isn't good against a caster. There is one for extra stamina, and that one's good as long as you continue staying in combat. So it's all about not catching restells, but against Tasty that might be a little rough. And then there's also self-heal one that gives you extra healing from your sippy cup. Together with the stam one, you would imagine it'd be really, really good. 4 out of 4, it sounds good, Chrysler. We'll get you in here, man. I did okay, Subway. You'll get a plenty of chance to play again, my guy. Don't worry about it. Flash cup for Tasty. DV just going out. Does he just give up? I think he just gives up. It looks like he maybe just gives up. Yeah, I think he just gave up. Maybe he ran it wrong on a channel or something. Rest in peace. Yandex's going to be up next and last one on team 2 to try to see if you can make something work here. Flash Scout is up. Playing that Unholy, not doing Frost, huh? I wonder if he's going for the DK Legendary, by the way, the grippy hand one. Because that did get updated. Every time he grips him in, it makes him take 10% more damage. And I think there's the the hand itself lasts longer, so it could be pretty good. That's going to be a grip for Yandex. Does hit the grounding totem though, so Tasty doesn't go anywhere. So Yandex is going to have to chase after him. Tasty outwitting these zombies as well as Yandex quite well. Decided, you know what, I'd rather deal with Yandex than the big old A-bomb. Yandex dropping down Abomination's limb though. Plenty of A-bomb plays. Is going to have multiple grips on Tasty, so that should be 10% damage increase every time he does grip Tasty in, but also going to work on the elemental as well. Trying to see if he can just walk Tasty, but the slows had it completely almost rooted to the ground. Tasty got a whole army of the dead chasing after him, but got plenty of pressure onto Yandex. Should have plenty of healing kill surges though. At 43% dampening, Yandex trying to avoid him as best as he can, doing whatever he can just to stay alive. Lichborn is up. More chain of ice for Tasty. Does have the slime just kind of spitting acid at him. Swapping ropers. I'm sorry about that one, boys. And Yandex is gonna get caught out with a totem, dude. That totem is actually so good, just to keep players in place, at least for 1v1s. Try to go for a knockback Yandex, but the last of those is over. I was talking to the wrong people at the end. I'm so sorry, boys, but Tasty with that totem, dude. Just keeping everybody in place, just has the ultimate control. This thing is actually pretty good. You can swap to swords mid-game. Wait, what? I was running 2 daggers as Outlaw with this ass legendary. Oh, that's unfortunate.